people thought about Facebook in the early days, it was a college site, right? So it was the opportunity to connect with college students. And I think what we've seen now is it reaches anybody. Whoever your audience is that you want to reach, you can reach them on Facebook, and you can reach them in many different ways than you were able to before. Mobile obviously has changed the landscape for us quite significantly, and we've now got to the point where we've got more people coming on and accessing Facebook through their mobile phone on a daily basis than on their desktop. And that trend is obviously not going to slow down or stop. And so I think it's an interesting time for marketers. In one sense, it's very complicated because I think they're hearing a lot of things and they sit in on presentations where the hundreds of logos are flashed on the screen and it's tough for them to wrap their heads around it. And in another way, I think the solutions are very simple to a lot of their problems. And if they get the right consultation and help, they can see tremendous results. In some ways, marketing has changed quite a bit. And in other ways, I think we need to make sure that we still remember the key marketing principles. It's still about getting the right content in front of people that's relevant to them. And that's really always, and you need to get it in front of enough people to make it matter for your business. So the classic marketing principles of reach and frequency still matter. You need to get it in front of your audience with enough frequency to be able to make it resonate. But I think where the rules have changed a little bit is now it's much more of a two-way conversation. So you need to be prepared to be able to have people engage in that content, tell you how they really feel about it, and be able to adjust to that. And I think that's the thing that takes marketers a little bit longer to understand how to play well in that environment. But once you understand it, I think we're seeing some brands doing an excellent job of taking advantage of it. What we've seen now is a lot of the case studies that we're seeing coming out of the brands that we're working with are relating back to driving core business metrics that matter to them. So I think we've gotten past the early days of the only success metrics on, in working with Facebook is, how many likes do I have or how many people are commenting on some of the posts that I'm doing, and we're moving much more towards how is Facebook enabling me to drive core business metrics that matter to me? How is it driving people into my store to buy my products? How is it driving people to my site to be able to consume my content? And I think those are things that we're going to see more of because it's just another way to reach out to people in a more personal way. The one thing I will say on that, though, is I do think that sometimes people take the wrong approach in Facebook. When you go in there, just like building a relationship with people, right? If you and I are building a relationship, the first thing I do when I go in there is not to, open my coat and show you my 50 watches that I have on sale. We need to build a relationship, and it gives me that ability to build loyalty over time. And I think too often people look at it as just another channel for distribution. And although it does have broad distribution, I think the rules of engagement change slightly. The thing that excites me about Facebook the most still is the mission of the company. Mark always talks about, we're here to make the world more open and connected. And we really believe that an open and connected world is just a better world in general. Not just better for businesses, but just better for people in general, being able to stay connected to people, being able to feel connected and unique. From a business standpoint, though, I think the big opportunity is mobile. A lot of people are talking about it now. It's definitely the future of our business. When we think about where's the next billion users coming from, and it's a conversation we have all the time, they're coming from mobile. And they're coming from emerging markets, and we're becoming much more of a global company. And I think the thing that excites me the most is what's now possible. When you've got a phone in your pocket that's got, somebody was telling me the other day, if you thought about the NASA supercomputer that sent somebody to the moon, we've got like 100 times the processing power in an average smartphone in our pocket. And so with that available to us, what's possible in terms of sharing, what's possible in terms of changing, physical experiences and commerce, that's the stuff that excites me.